Mr. Yorton, I apologize. I should have brought you up before this.
I was having fun, all right?
Pardon?
You were having fun, all right?
Absolutely. Tony Gordon, 8 Country Way. First off, I'd like to thank the Town Council for the opportunity to allow myself, on behalf of the Parks and Recreation Commission, the opportunity to discuss the state of recreation, if you will, in the town of North Smithfield. I represent 7 members of the Parks and Rec Commission. We've been together for about 15 months now, and done a lot of identifying of what we have and where we think we need to go. Mr. Nang, Bill Nang, is here as well tonight as part of the commission, so certainly make this interactive. If you have questions as I discuss things, feel free to ask them, otherwise at the end. But I'd just like to talk a little bit about where we are and where I'd like to see us go, where we would, as a commission, like to see us go. Certainly not here to assess any blame or find fault, because there is some. And I think it's with all of us for enabling the state of where we are in North Smithfield as far as facilities and programs goes to basically decay for the last 10 plus years. So let's talk about that. I'd like to use a sports parallel in that often there are teams that are haves and teams that are have-nots. So let's talk about what we have. First off, let's start with the largest public park, if you will, outside of school facilities, Pacheco Park. After surveying it a few weeks ago, I noticed the basketball court is cracked and in disrepair, in my opinion, not playable. I think it's a hazard for anybody to go on there. We've got a concession stand that's got a damaged ceiling, needs paint, roof needs cleaning. We've got a heritage trail that Mr. Kravitz and Mr. Pendergast helped me learn a bit about, and I was able to grab some plans. We spent about, with a state, including a state grant and town dollars, about $20,000 was spent on basically engineering and cutting brush through the woods. And all we really have for the Slatersville Heritage Trail is a dirt path through the woods. Really nothing we can take any civic pride in my opinion. We've got an entry, I know the council has talked about it, the access to Pacheco Park. I'm hoping we can get something resolved there in relation to improving that entrance. I know you've had discussions around purchasing the land adjacent to that entrance. But I mean, let's face it, it's a perpetual accident waiting to happen in and out of Pacheco Park. Been like that for years and years, and again, nobody's done anything about it. I also found that there's pedestrian access a little further down Main Street, about 7 properties down from that entrance, that is blocked, if you will, a pedestrian access by what appears to be a private structure on town property. A bus stop, it looks like to me. In my opinion, in the opinion of the Parks and Rec Commission, that should be removed, and we should have some signage there pointing people to Pacheco Park, to areas of access for recreation. So that's where we are with Pacheco.
Tony, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
That particular property, does it have a very large number of garages in the back of it?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a red structure, small bus stop, and based upon the plans Mr. Kravitz provided, it appears it's on town property.
Right across from the
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul, that what you're talking about was sold.
Yeah.
Most of it was sold.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Okay.
So I did some research into the bike path. Rhode Island's done a great job as a state in putting together a long stretch, and I guess, you know, you can go down to Bristol and ride your bike all the way up and eventually through Woonsocket all the way to the state line. So right now, in fact, I went over there and there were a couple of guys who had some nice weather before all hell broke loose over the last couple of weeks. And they were working on what will be, the path is somewhat constructed, and there'll be a bridge from the Woonsocket side of the river into North Smithfield. It'll be a tremendous asset, and if any of you have been on the Massachusetts side of the bike path and seen what has been done from the St. Paul Street overpass to the backside of McDonald's and Uxbridge on 146A, it's beautiful. The state of Massachusetts did a fantastic job in building wooden bridges and an asphalt path, and it gets a lot of use. My wife and I have been on it multiple times, and it's just a fantastic stretch. So we're going to have this coming into North Smithfield very shortly. A state project is spending well over $1 million on this project, and it'll be dead-ending at the state line, which is, to be very blunt, it's an area, the Meadows, that's quite literally between two dumps. Yeah, the transfer station and the Blackstone refuse station.
Rock in a hard place.
Yeah. I don't have an answer on that one, but it's not pretty.
Always was.
It's, I mean, this beautiful, improved bike path, which we're going to see, is going to end at an area between two dumps. I'm trying to paint a picture.
And that's what I'm going to say, North Smithfield.
And,
North Smithfield.
and in that regard, I emailed you all some pictures today.
Tony, I
Also
wasn't
cut
gonna-
on
I
his
was
phone.
just-
I don't know if you've had a chance to look at them, but if you haven't, have a look at them later on. And I'll speak to them very briefly. Bushy School. I don't know what's going on with the playground behind the current facility, police facility, but it's a vacant lot. And it's listed on our town's website as a playground. It doesn't get any better when you go over to Milton Ave. Milton Ave is a great, big, empty, vacant lot. Again, on our website, listed as a playground. It's embarrassing, honestly. St. Paul Street, maybe a little better. There's some plastic furniture that looks like it was a cast off from somebody's yard that maybe they...
I think it was at Bushy School before, you just...
Really? Okay. Overgrown brush, fences falling down, fences on the ground. This is where we expect kids in this town to play, and what we're portraying as a town, as a municipality, as a playground. I'm embarrassed as a taxpayer and as a resident, and as someone who represents the Parks and Rec Commission. So, any way you slice it, we're severely deficient in opportunities and facilities for recreation in North Smithfield. We worked with Mr. Kravitz on a master plan. I know he's trying to get all that together, and we have a lot of catching up to do. And I think that master plan will drive further detail going forward when that's completed. So let's talk about the have-nots. One thing we don't have in North Smithfield is any opportunities for senior recreation. We're working with the school department, a small group, our administrators helped us as well, in putting together a potential plan to get funding for the construction of a concession stand at the turf field right behind us, which would have a revenue-producing concession area as well as bathrooms. And so there's a collaboration going on between the school department and the town in trying to get this done. And I believe we will be putting forth a Champlain Foundation grant application very soon. Yeah, we're hoping for the best. And I think we've got a real strong story to tell. As far as youth programs go, thank goodness, and I came from there, and so did Bill. Thank goodness for the NSYSA Soccer Association and the Baseball and Softball Associations and Scouting and Northman Hoops and regionally Northern Ireland Lacrosse, North Stars Hockey, Express Football. They do a great job. But as a town, basically we provide an Easter egg hunt.
Sometimes.
When weather permits.
If you get enough donators.
We have a tennis program, kind of, sort of, that Mr. Connell, Bill Connell, came to us with some great ideas on at our last meeting. I'd love to implement them. I gotta be honest, I'm not gonna run them. I've run programs for the North Smithfield Athletic Association. I know how much work that takes. You really need somebody dedicated, not getting to that, to run those kind of programs. And when I talk about programs, I want to hand this out to you. I didn't give it to you now, previously, because I don't want you reading it while I'm talking, but you can do that now.
Sounds like a pretty festive career.
Well, that ain't the shot.
I was going to say. Thank
Can I
you.
tell you before I look at that? That's what you need, exactly, right? We're going down.
So what I just handed to you is some research that I did in relation to budgets and programs. And what I did is I looked at multiple communities in the state of Rhode Island and what they budget, their structure, and the kind of programs they offer for residents and taxpayers. And I think when you go through that, and don't take my word for it, please, if you get a chance, go to their websites. But I'm, in particular, I don't even want to talk about what Barrington and East Greenwich, maybe the demographic is different, I don't know. But even next door in Borough, they do a tremendous job. They're not that much bigger than us. And when you look at, and Bill's often talked about, and you could ask him about it, the booklet they put out every year in relation to what they offer. We really couldn't put out anything because there is nothing. So I wanted to provide you with that information. And feel free, again, I have links there, I have contact information, and you can see for yourselves exactly where that's at. So, in summary, it's not a rosy picture I painted. I wanted to bring, trying to be factual and not too opinionated here, but Bill Nagler and I had an opportunity last month to spend some time with our previous Parks and Rec Director, Joe Koslick, great old guy. And he's very sad to see where the state of recreation in the town of North Smithfield is gone. He hasn't been employed by the town since
15, 20 years.
2006 maybe, right?
That's close.
Okay, so 15 years. That's how long, folks, we've been without a recreation director. So it's no surprise to see who we are, right? We need one. We need, I think we owe it to the youth of this town. I think we owe it to the taxpayers of this town. I think we owe it to the seniors of this town. I think we need to find a way to fund a position to help drive improvement, to help drive programs, What I wanted to see was a study, a master plan study, that could basically determine inventory analysis. We just did some of that. Have public meetings, surveys, needs analysis, direction, vision, everything around what we have, how we make it better, and where we need to go. You need a person dedicated. They should be compensated, first of all, because it's a big job, it's an important job, and they need to be dedicated to do it and compensated to do it. So if you can find a way to fund that, I think it's a great start. What we have isn't great or even good. And what we don't have should make us want for more. Those are the have-nots. We don't need to settle for less. And personally, if I'm going to editorialize, you know what? I send those quarterly tax payments out. I want some more value. I want some more bang for my own buck. When we had a P&R director, Parks and Rec director, and we talked to him about the kind of things he did and the kind of programs he had, and just the set of eyes and ears on what's going on all the time, it made a big difference. And we've lost that. Again, not trying to find fault, but basically letting you know it's time for a change. It's open time. Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Is this thing on?
Stop taking it off, Ken.
We've had Parks and Recreation guys. You guys have been doing this for a while, right? It's not just you. Who's the last? Were you on last time, or wasn't there a Parks and Recreation group that meet all the time?
We've had a Parks and Recreation Commission for quite a while.
And they never came.
I don't know, Tommy.
Nothing ever happened. Everyone's just like, oh, we have one. Nothing happens. I mean, I agree. We need something because there's nothing for seniors. There's nothing for kids. The parks, I used to complain all the time and say, oh, Milton Avenue, how come these parks aren't better? I tell Ray all the time, and he'd say, every time we put something together, they vandalize it, wreck it, so it's like, no one's using them, there's no supervision, so kids of today, they don't go by themselves. So then no one was going. If you're gonna have a chance, you need something you want to go to, right? And I agree, you need something. You need something like, if you use the model of Tupperware, the old Tupperware, that was the place to go. They had a guy, Mr. Lovett, I don't know if anyone remembers, but Mr. Lovett used to run that place, and you'd have all your people there, you had a big games thing. We've got the opportunity for that, especially with Hallowell School. When we get rid of that, keep the gymnasium, a couple of pieces, you could recreate Tupperware at Hallowell School. Have people in there, have counselors, the teachers that need they used to be the teachers that were at North Smithfield. At the end of the year, they'd transfer and do the summer programs. It was unbelievable. And there was equipment. I mean, there's nothing. We don't have horseshoes, there's knock hockey, there's everything. And then they do tournaments. I'll tell you what, that was a place that you got dropped off, you liked it there, you know? And we should have something like that. We have the opportunity with that school that's doing nothing. When it's doing nothing, we need to take that over and make that become.
There's so much potential.
There is, and it's in
Unrealized potential, right? Bill, could you go up and talk about what they've done in another neighboring town, Smithfield, and what the town of Smithfield, the master plan they put together around Deerfield Park and what they offer over there. And Bill can speak to it very well.
Hello. Yeah, I'll be brief. Deerfield Park in Smithfield, have you all been there? So I know what it is. It's a piece of land that was donated to the town by the Santoro family originally. They gave them an incredible tax break to donate that to the town. And then over the years, through grants and through funding from the town, they built with is one of the better athletic